You are watching GreenWay Startups, the place to be to learn how to have a life and the business you want. My name is Brigitte Balai. New generation of healthier soft cookies, great way to sneak in more fiber and grain at the same time, reducing sugars, maintaining its delicious flavors. This is Leankies. If you follow up today's show, I will show you how to set up a home-based business. Stay with us. Jill, welcome to the GreenWay Startup Show.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You started your home-based food business about a year ago, and today you are in around 200 stores in New York City, right?
Queens and Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. So tell me, what is special about your cookies, about Leankies?
Okay, so the project Leankies was made to give a message. Basically, nowadays some bad propaganda about sugar because of diabetes and obesity and so many health issues. So Leankies is the project is to promote stevia and to let the people know the benefits of this beautiful plant, and to create a line of snacks that instead of being sweetness with sugar, is sweetness with the plant stevia.
So how did you get to the idea starting a home-based cookie business? Are you good at baking?
So we are harvest stevia in Colombia. The first trial that we made was to sell stevia as stevia itself. But back in the time, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was not as popular as it's getting now, the stevia. So it was really hard to get into the market. But then what we did is that my partner's wife decided to use the stevia doing cookies with oatmeal for our own benefits, and it was so delicious that we decided to share.
So basically, she's cooking and baking these cookies at her home, right? In her home kitchen.
That's the first step. Yeah, of course. Right now we are reaching sales that will allow us to move to the next step, which is in factory. But home business is a good way to start up.
What do you need in order to start your business like that? Do you need to have your kitchen to be certified as a commercial kitchen? What are the regulations around if I would like to, let's say if I'm going home and tomorrow I would like to sell my own cookies?
The first thing you have to do is to know what product you're making and to see if the exemption for home business is like the product that you're making qualifies for that exemption. So in our case, the cookies is one of them that qualifies, and from there on, you gotta start, getting all the licenses to create a safe and clean environment.
And what is the quantity you are able to produce and bake at the moment on a daily basis?
At the moment? Well, we start like around wake up 4 a.m., start 5 a.m., finish 6 p.m., and the quantity that we make from 5 to 6, it's like 50 cases like this, and each case has 12 cookies. So
I see. So you basically, at the end of the day, you have 50 packages like that, right?
50 packages that has 16 packages like this.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Which is like an
I see.
the way we sell it to the supermarket.
Okay. And when you start when you bake your cookies, how do you get to the right formula?
No, the right formula became first that making the cookie, and then once you get the formula, in our case, because since we are a team, one of us is on chemistry. He studied the cookie, all the ingredients, the right amount of ingredients, if the ingredients and the cookie one is made last enough fresh, so we can, because remember some products they last 1 week, and by the time we put it in the market, it's already
so the shelf life is really important in in the food industry.
Chef?
The shelf life.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, it's very important.
So what is the shelf life of your product?
To be fresh is like about 4 months, 3 months, but the way we're doing is to get into the market and to create the supply enough for the demand, so every time people try it, most likely it's fresh. It's not even 1 or 2 months. It's fresh.
You have to tell me a secret. Anytime I'm baking at home, my cookies are always a little bit different. They look differently. However, I'm doing my best. They always like turn out a little bit sometimes nicer, sometimes not so nice. So how can make sure that the quality and the form of the cookies is so nice as I can
uniform?
See on the Yes.
That's a question that I ask myself, and not even the chef is telling me the secret. But she's doing a pretty good job, yeah. Like, my guess is dedication, discipline, and you know that this is your 100% dedication. So you get to know yourself with your product and make it like that.
And I see that you have a really nice packaging. And tell me, so what are the regulations for packaging? What information
It's a process. Like, first the image, and second the nutritional fact, and the label, the code, barcode. Yeah, those are the steps. But other than that, it's all depends on how you perceive your baby, how you design your baby. And as I said, we're a team, and one of the members of the team is the designer. So he did a pretty good job as well.
And the packaging itself, the paper. How did you get the supplier for your packaging?
Well, the first thing we did is the research, looking for quality versus prices, and once we felt comfortable with someone that a good supplier, so we stick to him because it's a good deal.
Where do you start to find a supplier? Do you Google that I'm looking for food packaging material?
Yeah, the internet is a really good method.
Is there any reason you skipped working with distributors?
Yes, it is a big reason. When you can have the total control of your product and you give it to distributors, they got their own business. It's their private business, so you cannot decide on what they have to do with their own business. Meaning that they can change the price of the product, they can get into one market that is already taken by another one. So instead of having all those ways of doing business, we decided to create the whole database, and we see our clients as our allies, our best friends, as part of the company. So that's the strategy that we are doing it.
And going forward, marketing and sales strategy, what strategy
right
do you
now
have?
is we are a baby company, meaning that we picture ourselves as a big factory that not only gives job opportunity but also have a social responsibility. But as in the moment that we are close to have 1 year in the market, not even 1 year, our main focus is to put the product fresh and presentable in the places where in the 200 supermarkets that we sell the product, but also the only marketing strategy that we're doing now is sampling, giving demos, so customer from the supermarket, they can try the product and like see if they like it or not.
So today you are in 200 stores. I do believe it's a success story. It's not easy to get to stores, especially if you targeting big chains. What is your recommendation? What is the best way to get into bigger chains?
First, believe in your baby, in your product, in what you are selling. Believe in your talents, and believe that when you are presenting your product to a big chain, you are not only selling, but you are sharing an opportunity and win-win situation, not only to make money, but also to represent your product. And that's what I recommend.
Do you do cold calling, or you just go a simple store and you're just trying to demonstrate your product?
The 200 supermarkets that we have now are community supermarkets. They are like Key Food associated, C-Towns. So the way I approach the 200 supermarkets is walk in and sharing the product that we are making. But now that we are ready for the next step, to put the company, the factory, and sell it more massive. So we're targeting stores that corporate. So this is a different way. It's just knowing where you want to sell it, the reason why they benefit, why we benefit, and making the appointment. And that's the talent that I have. I mean, like, maybe many other people can have it, but that's something that's why they put me in that position, because they know I get that meeting happen.
So networking is really important, and having the right attitude, right, for sales.
It is, yeah.
What about pricing?
Not yet. Like pricing?
Pricing.
Oh, pricing.
How do you set the price for your product?
Okay, the pricing has to be a price that once you cover your expenses and you picture the price that is accessible to the market, that is appropriate for your product, and that in the range of the price there's the fair percentage for everyone in the industry.
So if I would ask you to give me a percentage, so what is the share of the manufacturing cost, the packaging cost, the transportation cost, and your profit of your price, and what you could tell me, how you could identify them?
Okay, so basically in the chain of the industry, there's the one who import it, there's the one who produce it, there's the one who distribute it, there's the one who sell it. So usually the one who sell it, like the supermarkets, they pay rent and the space. So usually they earn from 25 to 35%.
For the sales department.
For the let's call it the sales department. In this case, the supermarkets. But in places like in the city, which the rent is more expensive, they need to make more percentage, at least 50%. So from there on, the distributors, they also make their own percentage. Like each distributor, they, according to their internal strategy and cost, they get a different percentage, but not as much as the sales. It's usually 15 or 25%, and so on.
So what is the profit margin, the industry standard profit margin, then you can count it?
It's hard to tell because in the industry there are many products, and according to the companies, each company they create their own strategy to make money. For instance, Bimbo, they give a very small margin, but they know they always selling. And there's other companies that they create a big margin, but the product doesn't sell as much. So it's hard to tell what is the profit margin. But I mean, like, you have to, if you want to put your own business, you have to know your product and you have to do your numbers.
So you mentioned that in the near future you are planning to move on and increase your production and move to a commercial kitchen facility. Do you know? Do you have any estimate that how much it and how much it will cost?
It's a beautiful step because right now the expenses are going to be higher. When we're going to be 1 year old in January, and that's exactly when we estimate to move to a commercial facility. And how much? We're still working on the numbers, so I don't know. I don't really know how it's gonna cost, but I know that we were prepared since day one for that coming. So
how do you see your company in the next 5 years?
5 years, stable, with active departments, the marketing, management, and in New York, New Jersey, Florida.
New Jersey, Florida.
Actually, in 5 years, to be honest, I also see it in LA and Texas, but let's just put it for now: New York, New Jersey, Florida. So if we sit down in 5 years from now, I can tell you, see, I did what I told you.
You have to explain to me why exactly Florida.
New York, New Jersey, Florida. Why exactly Florida? That's a good question. I have to do something in Florida. I have to.
So it's not you didn't conduct any market research, but from private reasons, right?
Yeah, various reasons. That's a really good state where I see myself, living, and it's also very convenient because stevia coming from Colombia, South America, and products that we are developing coming from South America and Central America, they arrive in Florida. So it's many reasons.
So you have already 1 year behind of you, and what would be your recommendation to your audience who are thinking about starting their own food business? That what are the obstacles, the biggest obstacles in this industry?
In my opinion, the biggest obstacles in this industry and any other industry is yourself. And in my feedback or recommendation, if you want to start your own business, either food business or marketing business or any other business, is first know yourself and know that once you know yourself, find a passion that you can transform it into a game of life. So let's call it a business. And once your business becomes your mission, becomes your passion, life becomes a game. What's the game? Seeing your idea grow and grow and grow. So in few words, my recommendation is first believe in yourself, find what you love, and do it.
So what was the hardest part during this 1 year? The hardest moment that you had to go through?
the hardest moment. Um, we have built a team, and the beauty is that everyone in the team has a talent. It's like the head of one department of the whole project. And when I said we had built the team, is that there's such a good communication that this hasn't been any hard part. Just meeting goals, strategies, and whatever doesn't work, see why it doesn't work, and create the strategy to make it work. So no hard parts so far. Thanks God.
Are all of the team members working full time for this company?
No, not all of them are working full time. Actually, I'm the only one, and the chef. Yeah, only the chef and me are working full time. The other ones are giving their talents and also working hard to keep feeding the business, keep bringing money into the business.
How do you finance this business?
Through our own efforts. The first, as I said, there's part of the teams that are working, so they make a living, and from the money they make, they refinance into the business. And some of us had to start in the beginning making no money, but now that we see some sales, so as part of the profit, we reinvested into the business.
So when is the first time you expect to have profit from this business?
Oh, we're already having it.
I mean profit that you can put on the side and don't reinvest.
I put from 1 or 2 trimesters. So once I heard somebody saying that if you start the business from the scratch, give it at least 3 years. But look at this. I mean, it's 1 year, and we're very happy. And it shows that things can be possible. And it doesn't really need to wait till 3 years. I mean, it could take less. It's all a matter of organizing yourself and seeing where you are heading with your business.
So what is your competitive advantage comparing to other similar companies? Because you achieved a great success within a short period of time, and a lot of other companies
Maybe I don't
failed, or even there are not so many stores.
Or other companies had reached success faster. It's different variables, but what makes us unique is the fact that we are harvesting the stevia and importing the stevia, so we are innovating a product that I'm sure in the near future many companies will come up with. But we were blessed to be the first ones.
So tell me more about your cookies, please. Are these like white chocolate? What kind of?
Okay, this is some fun part. So the cookie is called Leankies. Lean, to keep lean while eating cookies. And why? Because it has half of calories and carbs that a regular cookie. The reason why is because of the stevia. So while sugar has a lot of calories and glycemic index, stevia has none, 0. So when you make it in a cookie, of course, it's still a cookie. It's gonna have carbs and calories, but it's half. And the cookie is made with oatmeal for the fiber, and when you bite it, oh my God, it feels like you bite in a cloud. Because have you ever tried to eat, have as a breakfast oatmeal? But sometimes, I mean, in my case, it's like, I know it's healthy, but it's not like the best taste. So we could combine the oatmeal in a cookie, sweetness with stevia that enhances the flavor of the cookie, plus the topping. So we created 4 toppings. One is white chocolate, dark chocolate, coconut, and cranberry, and raisin.
And raisin.
And raisin. This is the raisin one, actually.
And this one here on the plate is the white chocolate one.
This is the white chocolate, and our recommendation, because it was I'm finding that you warm it up a little bit and put ice cream on top, you will never stop eating Leankies again in your life.
So, and at the end of the interview, just tell me that I can taste it, right?
Of course.
Let me try it.
I'm sure I'm gonna try with you.
I feel the stevia is not so sweet as the other cookies. So, Jean, I enjoyed your company here, and thank you for answering my questions. And I hope to see you back in my show, let's say in 1 year again.
Actually, thank you so much for having me here. And thank you so much for creating a way for entrepreneurs to share their experience. And I wish you success.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.